Good evening, YouTube. MMA Joe here. And I thought tonight we'd try something a little different. I'm just hanging out in the home theater slash living room. It's the 17th tonight, July 17th. So there's a UFC Fight Night on ESPN Plus, which I'm a subscriber. So I thought it'd be cool to maybe go through these fights. And just talk about them as they happen. And watched a good bit of the prelims. And what I'll say about that is, this guy Rodriguez that won the main prelim fight there. This guy's no joke, man. I mean, he knows he's got devastating power in his hands. He looks like he's got that natural punching power ability. He's a southpaw, so that presents problems for people. And man, I've seen, I think, two of his fights now, maybe three. He hasn't been in the UFC long, but he's got 2 or 3 fights now in the UFC. And man, I'm really liking his work. So, oh no, again? Little guy's fishing rod broke. All right, I'll get it together, buddy. All right, this is all experimental. Thank you, son. We'll see how this works. UFC Fight Night should be interesting. So here we are in the first fight of the main card. We're at about minute 40 left in the first round, and this guy, Billy Q here, I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm just going to say Q. He's in a total dominant position on Benitez now. He's behind Benitez. They're on the ground, and he has a body triangle in. And what's really interesting here is Benitez is not using good technique here to escape the body lock. So what's interesting here is whenever you find yourself in that up and it's broke and he did the right thing. Only thing I wanted to point out here is when you find yourself in a body lock or that body triangle, say, you can't roll away from the knee. So if a guy's behind you and the knee's coming around you from the right side, the knee's bent like this. Sorry about that foot there. You got to roll toward the knee to break that, to get out of that body triangle. So thought that was interesting, worth noting. It's been a good scramble here. We're looking for a heel hook. Benitez is looking for a heel hook on Billy Q. Billy Q wisely rolling, getting out of it. This has been a dominant round. But, all right, round's over. Anyway, just thought we'd throw that in there about the body triangle. You really need to turn into the knee in the body triangle. All right, Billy Q for the win. Stopped in the third round with about a minute 22, something like that to go, but as it should have been stopped. Benavidez made that an interesting third round, but he had to finish that fight. He was way behind on points. We were probably looking at a 10-8 round in there. So there was just really no way he was going to win, and he was in another bad position. Billy Q had his back, another body triangle on him, and just punched him in the face. So good stoppage. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Don't know that we're going to do every fight here, but we're definitely doing the co-main and the main event. So looking forward to that stuff. All right, YouTube. Just got done watching another fight here. Main card. Vieira, I'll just say that. I don't want to butcher the man's name. But great fight. Listen, that fight really wasn't close on the scorecards. But it was much closer than the scorecards. And the finish is really, really good. This man just climbed up on his back and sunk in a deep choke right under the chin. No rear naked. It was just, I guess I would call it something like a bulldog choke. All he had was the arm under the chin, and he was wrenching back on that wrist, on his own wrist from behind him. Rodolfo Vieira. Hope I said that right. Anyway, I believe the last time I saw him fight was a loss, and I'm seeing now he's at 8-1, so that was his only loss. I think he gassed out in that fight. Anyway, I think little heathen Jeremy Stevens should be up, and that's always a good watch. So, man, I am just these next 3 fights are going to be really fun. So yeah, hopefully the good fight trend continues. All right, YouTube, my guy Jeremy Stevens just got submitted within the first minute of the fight. Might have been a minute 10. It's the first minute of the fight. He found himself on bottom in a bad position and was going to use a Kimura, it looked like, to get out from underneath. Maybe use it to sweep or something. And homeboy from Poland ended up turning that into his own Kimura. Well, yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, terrible for Jeremy Stevens. Little heathen, my guy. So now that puts him at 28-19, which he's an awesome fight. Love to watch him fight, but yeah, we'll have to see what happens moving forward. Don't know how many fights are left on the contract, but hey, he'll be in the UFC as long as he wants to be, probably. So yeah, but anyway, here we go. These are the fights that I've really been looking forward to coming up to co-main and main. Here we go. All right, here we are. Co-main is over. Miesha Tate just got the stoppage in the 3rd round for being away for 5 years. Looked pretty good. Physically, she's a little different now. You can see, I think her upper back and shoulders and arms are more defined than they ever were. Also, her legs look a little smaller, like maybe a little bit of that weight is gone, a little bit of that muscle, I think. So, not criticizing whatever, but this is just the physical difference I see. But still as durable as ever. Great on the mat, great scrambling, great wrestling. But I tell you what, her striking, her footwork is still, her head movement, a lot to be desired there. And, I'll give you a couple of, she threw a beautiful 1-2. But that's really the only punches she's throwing the entire fight. Also, she just followed Pena around the ring. Never really cut it off. And couldn't get her power punch, that right hand, on a good angle because she was always following. So that was very interesting. And yeah, really happy for Miesha Tate. And good fight. Good fight for her coming back. And real excited now to see this main event. So let's see what happens. All right, YouTube. We did wrap up UFC Vegas 31. It is the following morning. As soon as the fights finished last night, I went straight to bed. But need to talk about obviously the main event, and then give a quick takeaway on the last two fights. My takeaways from the last two fights, which were the ones I was interested in. Anyway, Islam did Islam. I don't know how they pronounce his name, but he did everything right. Everything he should have done. So his trajectory is still on course. He definitely should have finished his opponent last night. They had both guys listed at 5'9". So I'm pretty sure that wasn't true. The size difference was just too much. And Moises, man, he put up a real good fight. That kid's super talented, and I call him a kid. I'm sure he's a grown man. First fight in the UFC, his UFC debut. So a lot of times you can't just get in the weight class you prefer, because when the UFC calls, you go. So I would anticipate we'll see Moises, I think was his name. We'll see him again at 145. I don't think he'll be fighting 155 again. But man, that he's got hands. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see him fight at 155 again. I think we'll see him at 145. He's got hands. He's got great grappling. I'm not sure whether Islam was taking his time last night trying to be patient, or, if he was really that hard to put away. But very interesting. Now, I know I did already, I'm going to pivot a little bit here and talk about a difference between the two fights, the co-main and the main. When we watch Miesha Tate follow someone around the ring, this is not good. So if you recall, she's just following homegirl around the ring. Now, if you look at the main event, Islam, he did a really good job of keeping Moises up against the cage, and he didn't follow. He cut the ring off. Every time Moises tried to get off that cage, he would cut off. So the difference in those two fights is Islam is not following Moises. He's cutting the ring off. He's controlling the ring. Miesha Tate followed, I don't recall her name, followed her across the whole ring. Another thing about Miesha Tate, the 1-2 looked better than it ever had before. The jab, straight right hand, better than it ever has. I really only saw her throw one left hook for sure. I'm sure she threw maybe two of them, whatever, maybe more than that, but I only saw one for sure. And I feel like she used to throw that hook a lot more. So Miesha looked really good, against someone on her way out, at 40 some years old. And Tate is only 34. So listen, she's been gone for 4 or 5 years, but at 34 years old, Miesha Tate got plenty of gas left in the tank. Really good wrestler, really good on the ground, decent stand-up, but she really has to learn how to control that ring a little bit better. So in those 5 years she's been off, she didn't learn anything about controlling the ring, that footwork. She was just content to follow her opponent all the way around the ring. That's bad. So hopefully she shores that up. And then talking about the main event, honestly, I'm really more impressed with Moises, and really looking to see what he can do at 145. Probably at his proper weight class. But Islam again, he did everything he was supposed to do. I believe he's only got one loss in MMA, but man, he's looking really good. He does look like he will be a future contender, no doubt about it. So good on him, man. He did everything he was supposed to do. But just to be clear, that the skill levels I didn't think were too far off, but obviously Islam's wrestling was a little better. I'm anxious to see Moises. I believe that was his name. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but I believe we'll see him back at 145, his next fight. Actually, really looking forward to that. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Jeremy Stevens did get caught. It's funny because he was going for a Kimura to kind of get up from a bad position or sweep, and he ended up getting submitted by the Kimura behind the back. So that was a quick one, and Little Heathen, dude, I love watching you fight. It's fun, but that was a tough one for you last night. But yeah, so a little disappointed there, but good fight. That Poland dude, I think he's from Poland. That guy looks sick nasty, y'all. So whoever beat up Jeremy Stevens last night at 155, I don't remember the gentleman's name. You better watch out for this dude. He's looking real good. So we got the Jeremy Stevens winner, the winner of that bout. He's looking amazing. He's definitely a guy to watch out for at 55. Moises is a guy to watch out for at 45. Islam, of course, we're going to watch him at 55. And Misha Tate, good to see her back. I've been a huge fan ever since, she was Strikeforce champion. So really good to see her back. Just a fun night of fights. And yeah, I'm not going to keep this going any longer. Like I said, little experiment last night, doing the commentating thing as it happened. So we'll see how all this goes. Please feel free to question or comment in this comment section below. I need to get more interactive there. And if anybody, like I said, if any questions or comments pertaining to what we've talked about here, please, I'm going to encourage you, good, bad, or indifferent, to leave that comment, leave that question, whatever. Thank y'all. Yeah, this has been, we'll see how it works. Anyway, as always, thank you for listening. Be good. Be safe.